Welcome to Chilling with c.bo podcast. I'm your host, c.bo, and I know it's been a while, but we're back. I told you we'd be back. We weren't going away. Yeah, I'm here with only my co-host, the one and only. How you doing, man?
It is good to be back, and it is good to get back on a regular schedule.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of good to feel like I'm finally starting to go back to what normal people doing instead of everyone being like, you're never up when I'm trying to talk to you. Now I feel like, well, now you got a little bit more time with me.
So yeah, like I said before in the last podcast, all four of us have just been really busy. All four of us have had conflicting schedules, and but today we came back for a special reason because as a Nets fan since the Jersey days, it's kind of a hard podcast for me to record, and it's hard to look Juan in the eye right now because of his
right here.
I know.
Say it right here. Say it right here.
Because as we guys updated you in the past, Juan lives in Milwaukee, and if you guys follow any sports whatsoever, the Milwaukee Bucks have had one hell of a championship run, and they have actually won the championship when they were not the favorite team to win it.
The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions!
That is correct, and on their path to the championship, they had to beat my favorite team, the Brooklyn Nets, in a bloodbath of a series that was the only. To be fair, it was the only team that got up to 7. All right, give them that.
I like this is about the Bucks, and you're making it all about you and your Nets. But I see how it is. All right, let's roll with it. All right, fine.
Okay. So when did you come to Milwaukee again?
I moved to Milwaukee March 20th of 2021.
Okay, so when you came, so you knew you were gonna be covering like Bucks and Brewers, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I came to Milwaukee, it's kind of funny. So I came to Milwaukee with the presumption that I was going to be helping more with Packers coverage, and for the most part, I have been because we do a Packers-centric sports show every week. But then the Bucks and the Brewers started heating up, so we started diversifying the sports content a little bit more, and all focus went on the Bucks over the past month and a half or so. So I got to cover more Bucks news, I got to cover more Brewers news, and it's been honestly so fun, so crazy, and I never ever had the chance to cover a winning team. Like it's sad to say. Yes, I've covered Rutgers football. I've covered Syracuse football. At one point, even Giants football. But to be able to talk about a winning team and to be a part
in the middle of the run too,
in the middle of the run and in the city that it's happening in, especially, it's an unworldly feeling.
So when you came to the city, you were not really an NBA fan. You kind of just watch sometimes, see a playoff game or a finals game here and there, but that's really it, right?
Yeah, no, that best describes it. I was always a self-proclaimed football only fan, because for me, a lot of the other sports, they kind of just had too many flaws for me to overlook. Baseball was too slow and boring. I hate the fights in hockey and basketball. I didn't feel the excitement in the first couple quarters, because I've always heard that it's the final 2 minutes that actually matter. But then I got here to Milwaukee, and just to prove I'm not a bandwagoner, c.bo, just to prove it,
I never said.
No, but I've been called it. Literally, I'll tell us the story next. But literally, I know I'm not a bandwagoner because during my second week here in Milwaukee, I went to that Broad place that we went to down in the Deer District, the Broad House.
Yes.
And I went there, and I remember I sat down at the bar, and I was watching a Bucks Celtics game.
Okay.
And I was watching Giannis dunk on some fools against Boston and beating the brakes off them. And that's right there. I was texting some people in my fantasy football group, and I'm just like, hey guys, I'm gonna be a Bucks fan. I've chosen my NBA team. I'm gonna be a Bucks fan. And I remember this one dude who will remain nameless was like, yo, you're betraying your city. You're betraying where you came from. How could you? And I was like, first off, so long as James Dolan heads the Knicks, I will never support that franchise. And two, the Nets left Jersey for Brooklyn, so they're dead to me.
But no one was even a New Jersey fan, though.
But my main point, I never had a claim to any NBA team beforehand. Now, I'm a hardcore Bucks fan through and through.
Okay, so the Bucks make it to the playoffs as the 3rd seed. First is the Sixers, then it's the Nets, then it's the Bucks.
No. First is the Heat, then it's the Nets.
No. That was this year.
Oh, you mean the rankings?
The rankings, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like this. Okay.
So their first game, their first playoff series was against the Heat, the team that embarrassed them in the bubble last year, which is not even last year as of right now. That happened in the late summer, early fall. So that just throws me off when the bubble took place. But yeah, the Heat beat them pretty badly in the bubble and pretty demoralized them. And a lot of teams would not come back from that. But it seems like, the first game you're like, oh no, Miami might do it again. Oh no. But the next 4 games, the Bucks demolished them. And to be fair, the Miami Heat suffered through a lot of COVID this season. So you gotta give them you gotta be show some sympathy. But it's good for them. They beat the team that demoralized them last year. They did a gentleman's sweep. Now going into the second round was the Brooklyn Nets.
Before you go forward, I want to preface one thing.
Yeah.
So we all what the story of that after that Miami after Miami beat the Bucks in the bubble,
what happened?
Well, if you can remember, there was this whole uncertainty that Giannis wasn't gonna come back to Milwaukee, right?
Yes.
Where he was gonna go.
How can I forget that?
Exactly. It was the talk of the thing. Where is the Greek Freak gonna go? Everyone wanted him to join a super team, whether it was the Lakers, whether it was
or join Luka in Dallas.
Join Luka in Dallas, even Golden State.
Let me tell you something. If that happened, they would have owned the NBA for 10 years. The next 10 years.
Yeah, but then you'd have to try to create a balanced attack with him and Porzingis, and Porzingis isn't exactly a great player.
No, I'm just saying if they actually pulled that off, Luka and Giannis, we would have been in 2030 right now, still talking about them.
Oh no, I agree. But you know how sometimes the super teams try to come together, but honestly, so what happened was so there was this whole debate going on. Where is Giannis gonna go? Where is he gonna sign?
There's also talk that can he be a number 1 guy? Can Middleton be a number 2 guy?
Exactly. Who's the Batman to the Robin?
Was Drew Holiday worth all the resources they spent?
Yeah, but let's break that down for a second then. Just keep this in mind. They traded a boatload with Eric Bledsoe and a bunch of other players to the Pelicans for Drew Holiday, and also 3 first-round picks to do so. They were able to trade Houston for PJ Tucker, who was arguably a semi-fringe player who was a good defender, but was always either bouncing in the G League or international.
I'll talk about PJ Tucker in a couple of minutes.
and then fucking freaking Bobby Portis came out of nowhere, up the obscurity. They literally picked him off the couch and signed him to the roster later in the year. And they were doing all they can. They even signed Giannis's brother Thanasis to a contract just to try to keep Giannis in Milwaukee, and it worked.
I like Thanasis.
He came, he signed his $228 million 5-year contract. Giannis was a Buck for the next 5 years. Then go into the 2021 season, third in the East, back in the playoffs.
Yes, and they gentlemen swept the Miami Heat, proving everybody, hey, we could do something this year. But then the second round was, everyone knew this was going to be a bloodbath of a series. Everyone knew this was probably going Game 7, and people knew that even though the Sixers were the number 1 seed, that it was probably these 2 teams that would make the finals if they won this series. And it was the Bucks against the Brooklyn Nets. Every single game, I was on the edge of my seat. I'm like, God damn it! Because I knew, I'm an avid Nets watcher, and I knew that we would pay for not getting the number 1 seed, because if we got the number 1 seed, we would not have met the Bucks until the Eastern Conference Finals, which that would have been a lot better if that happened, for us, because as the series played out, things played out the way they did, yeah. So Juan, going into this series against the Nets, Vegas has the Nets as the favorite. What did you expect going into this? Were you concerned? You're like, oh shit, this is real now.
So like we were coming into I can't say we. The Bucks were coming into the series down a key figure who was a great dual player in Dante DiVincenzo. They lost him to a torn Achilles tendon in Game 3 against Miami in the series prior. So you had to find someone to fill the spot. And honestly, there wasn't a lot of easy people to fill it, but they were able to find someone to fill it. Well, a couple people. Pat Covington, a pretty decent shooter, especially from the perimeter, and PJ Tucker, who is just a defense who kind of emerged as a defensive stalwart alongside Drew Holiday. So coming into that series, I was nervous. I was so nervous because at the time there was a healthy big three on the Nets. You had Harden, you had Kyrie, and you had Durant. And against a quote unquote big three, in Giannis, in Holiday, and in Chris Money Middleton.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
So against all that, I was nervous.
So let me just preface this. And like the first 20 seconds of Game 1, Harden goes out.
Not even a minute. It was off a rebound.
So I'm like,
and Harden pulls up like underneath the basket with a clearly hurting hamstring. You can tell the man was limping.
So that right there kind of set the tone. But the Nets still won Game 1. So it's like, all right, with KD and Kyrie, I think we still got this. But I think, okay, so, and the Nets demolished the Bucks in Game 2, and every single sports pundit, and I'm sure even you were like, shit, this is probably over now, huh?
I didn't think it was over. I thought, fuck, we're going to be bounced out in like 4 or 5.
But still, though, the feeling in Milwaukee was probably not good after Game 2, right?
Huh?
The feeling in Milwaukee after Game 2 when the Nets demolished them was probably not good, right? The morale.
It wasn't great, but we just kept just kept telling ourselves we're getting beat by a snake. We're getting beat by a skinny snake right now. And
so Game 3 is a very close game. It comes down to the wire. Joe Harris, who we're gonna talk about more as the series goes on, misses a crucial shot, and the Bucks, they kind of steal that game because the Nets were playing kind of better than them, and they crept up at the end.
Was it Game 3 or Game 3 that was kind of like an offensive horror show for both teams?
Pretty much, yeah.
Sure it was an 86-83 score. I know Bucks won that one, but they didn't deserve to win it.
Yeah.
Was it Game 3 or Game 4?
I think it was Game 3, I want to say.
Okay.
So, so the Bucks kind of stole it. And I kind of knew right then and there, I'm like, we just gave the Bucks life. This is because the Nets never play well in Milwaukee, even during the season. They beat them twice over there during the season. And I'm like, we just gave this team life, man. This is not good. So Game 4 happened.
Yeah, sorry.
So Game 4 happens, and Kyrie goes down. And this is when I knew. This is when I knew. I'm like, this is going 7. This is going 7. I do not like this at all. I'm starting to see it. It ties up 2-2. Obviously, the Bucks win. You know, the Nets are a little lost out there without Kyrie. You know, they're like, oh, shit. So Game 5 happens, and I actually went to this game, and I will tell you this. This is probably the best Nets game I've ever been to in my life. Game 5 happens, and it's the highest high I've ever felt as a Nets fan ever, actually being there, seeing KD arguably play his best game. Scores 49. Harden's right there. He should not be playing, but he's pretty much only there for moral support for KD. He's just like, I need this guy to pump me up right now. He needs to be right there next to me. I need him. And literally KD scores 49. The Bucks are a little kind of shocked. They're like, what the hell is going on? Like, we can't stop this guy. Like, and Jeff Green out of nowhere plays the best game of his life too and scores like 20 points and makes these crucial threes. And I'm in the audience, like, I don't know what's going on. Can we pull this off? Like,
yeah, it wasn't a particularly great game, and
it was a great game for me.
No, but well, let me just say, like, Drew especially was cold that game.
Yes,
Really
yes,
cold.
I remember that.
I know the shooting percentage was low for him in Game 5, and we were all thinking like, Drew, what the hell, man? Like you're just like letting us down here. And Chris wasn't helping either, but at least he was trying. At least he tried, which is all you
Yeah,
can.
Giannis was doing everything in that game.
Yeah, that's kind of the story of this team. But then Game 6.
No, I want to talk about Game 5 a little bit more because,
Okay, okay.
this was a high for me. This is the high for me for the series.
Okay.
So, yeah, like, dude, the audience during that game was just out of their mind, man. We were just it was like a college March Madness atmosphere. We were all going crazy. I lost my voice, and I still have to go to work after that. Like, so after that game in Game 5, when the Nets are up 3-2, and KD single-handedly demolished, like, I don't want to say demolished, but he beat that team. Like, and the Bucks, like, they look pretty demoralized out there. Were you scared after that game?
I kind of had the mentality that this is gonna go to 7, and it's literally up to anyone. Like, I know Milwaukee could pull off the win in Game 6, and they did.
Yes.
Convincingly so.
Yes.
So I knew like they could pull it off. I was very happy about it.
But Game 7 was in the Nets' house, though.
It was, and I had come to grips with like, I'm just here for a fun game, and if they pull it off, wow. And if they don't, And I went to Game 7, not in the Deer District, and I watched it with my girlfriend there. We went to check it out. It's, get a little tipsy, watch the game and stuff. But she was not that big of a basketball fan, so I had to be excited for both of us, and the excitement rubbed off. Anyway.
But that's one of the great playoff games, even though it didn't end the way I wanted it to end.
That's the thing. So, like, I got lucky with regards. So I stayed for the full 3 quarters for that game. But then, and it was a back and forth, but it was starting to become more of a Brooklyn pull away. Brooklyn was like really driving it down the throats of the Bucks.
Harden made this crazy shot, and they're up 5, so, and like, you were like, "Oh." You're probably like, "Oh no." I was like, "Oh yes."
That's exactly like basically like. But I just kind of felt like like the energy was dipping. Giannis could only do so much. I'm going home. You want to come with me? She came with my girlfriend came with me. We came back, and on our way back from the Deer District through like Milwaukee, I kept checking the score in all these bars and
televisions. Couldn't pull away. They could not pull
away.
I
saw the gap starting to close.
Yes.
Each inching. I'm like, babe, we gotta get home quick. Come on. We ran home and we came here, and it was about 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We sat down. We watched it. We saw we saw Giannis and Chris somehow making shots. Giannis bulldozing him down into the restricted area.
They won every single offensive rebound. The Nets could not get a rebound for shit because KD was reaching. He played every minute that game, and he was getting tired too.
And then came the most infamous part of this whole series.
Yes.
The toe. 5 seconds left in the game. It was Durant versus Tucker on the perimeter to the right side. Dribbles to ankle break Tucker. Spin moves Durant. Shoots what should be a 3. Makes it with barely a second left on the clock. Only for review to show he had an inch of his shoe on the line. And what would have been the game clincher, because that would have put Brooklyn up 1, tied the game, and pushed it to overtime. And you can tell KD was tired and exhausted. He had 48 points on the whole night. No one else on the team could step up. Harden was a shell of himself by the end of the game. Kyrie was out. Jeff Green lost the magic. Joe Harris, where is he?
Was a brick.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. Like, when that shot happened, I thought it was a 3, and I was on the train because I had to go to work, and I was cheering, but I'm like, no, this can't be a 2, and it was, and I'm like, I think we just lost it right there because I knew KD was tired, and everyone else just, they were Brick City pretty much.
In a movie, you and I would be like, in a movie, we'd be like on a split screen, and it'd be me here watching the same game as you are, and the totally different reactions happening as it did. Oh man! Like,
and I knew when that overtime happened, the Bucks just seemed like they had more energy. The Nets, the only person who made a shot was Bruce Brown, I think, but KD couldn't make a shot. Joe Harris, wide open three, he missed, which is gonna haunt him for the rest of this offseason. Hopefully, he gets his confidence back next season. But yeah, that pretty much defined his role in this playoff series. And I saw the Bucks pull away, and I can tell you this: if I actually went to that game, I'd probably be in tears. But I was watching it as I was going to work, and I'm like, yeah. But I knew, I'm like, this team's probably going to the finals. Good for them. And you just beat my team, who was favored.
Wait, hold on. You forgot one more detail.
Yeah, what?
Last second of overtime is like the signature. Like, I know the shoe is supposed to be like what everyone's going to remember.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the fact that AD airballed a 3 at the end of it all. That basically gives you an indication of how much of himself he put into the game to push this over, to try to get Brooklyn over the edge. And
man.
He just couldn't. There was just no more power, no more energy left in this 7-foot slick man.
Say what you want about KD's personality and what he does off the court, but he leaves it all on the court.
He does. I'm not taking that away from him. But I will say the man is a ring chaser and a super team builder, which we'll touch on more in a second.
So you guys had the Hawks, which I'm pretty sure everyone knew the Bucks were going to beat the Hawks.
Well, not necessarily.
The Hawks made it frisky.
Frisky? You're kidding me? Look, Trae Young is a freaking beast of a man. He is 22 years old, and the man single-handedly could take down any team just because of the teardrop shots that he takes, the fadeaways that he somehow pulls off when the angle is just so awkward. And the fact that there was no answer to what happened. The freaking shoulder shimmy whenever he shot a 3 pissed me the hell off.
So I will say there was one moment in this series that I'm sure all of Milwaukee and Wisconsin was worried about. It was when he hyperextended his knee.
Giannis?
So what was the feeling like in Milwaukee when that happened?
Game 4, I think it was. Giannis going down. First off, what's the name of the big man that the Hawks have that went down alongside Giannis on that injury?
Was it John Collins or Clint Capella?
It was Capella.
Okay.
And just first off, the fact that in this sport they fake injuries and they fake falling just disgusts me, to be honest. So sorry, I lost track. So that was one. But seeing Giannis walk off the court with the injury disheartened a lot of people, including myself. I was like, no, why? It couldn't be Middleton. It couldn't have been PJ Tucker. Could it be Brook Lopez? It had to be Giannis. Out of all people, it had to be Giannis. We were all like incredibly sad. And I don't know how the hell they pulled off winning the next 2 games without him. I think the fact that Trae Young this time with that bone bruise in his ankle really kind of, I hate to say it, helped push us over.
Well, that kind of defines what the season was. A lot of injuries, a lot of weirdness, a lot of COVID.
But that's the thing, like, I hate admitting that because I don't want this team's win to be remembered for injuries. I wanted that he did it on his own. No, that it has its own merits.
It does.
Just because Anthony Davis was hurt and Kyrie Irving was hurt and then Trae Young went down and then Donovan Mitchell also suffered an injury. Like a lot of the teams that had good players, yes, they went down, but I don't want this to be the season.
Don't forget Kawhi too.
That too. Like I don't want the asterisk on the season to be, oh, everyone was injured, that's why they won so quickly. Nah, man, it can't just be that. It can't be, and I really don't want it to. That's what
I don't want to discredit them. Even though, as a Nets fan, I do kind of have to wonder,
But everyone's out there's doing it. Everyone's discrediting the Bucks. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway,
I won't discredit them.
We take games 5 and 6, Bucks and 6. Ew. And
then the final. You guys actually made the finals. Now, describe to me what that was like. Actually making the finals after 2 previous years of underwhelming stuff.
Well, I can't speak for myself because I'm a recent Bucks fan. But I can't speak for my coworkers here, and they were all like, "Is this a dream? This can't be real. Oh my gosh, what the hell? This is insane." Blah 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 blah. Everyone was like freaking the fuck out. It's like, no way, not with this coach, not with this roster. We didn't think we'd make it this far. We get that it was boom or bust when it came to this year, but we didn't think it'd be boom. That's what they were telling. And for me, I'm just like, hey, I'm just enjoying the ride so far. And
because like, you gotta admit, if Katie's foot was not on the line, things would be different.
Oh, of course they would.
I'm just saying, things would be different. I don't want to, say I would know what the universe looks like if that happens. But I'm just saying, things would be different.
But you do have to admit, though, even if they were different, could KD have made it past the Hawks by himself?
That's also on the back of my mind. Because Harden was still injured. That's another couple of weeks. And Kyrie, that was a violent sprained ankle. Sprained ankles are sprained ankles, and obviously, it's not like a torn ACL or like a Achilles, but still, that's still gonna get you out for a couple of weeks.
It is.
So yeah. So that's that. So yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, if Katie's foot was not on the line, we still have that lingering thing too as well. So yeah.
It really sucks.
Yeah, but no, the Bucks make the finals. The Deer District is on a high, but the finals is still the finals. Can you do something? And the Suns, they had a little bit of a hot run too in the West, even though I hate to admit it.
Let's break down that run a little bit though. First, they get past the reigning champion Lakers, albeit a beat up LeBron James and a very injury riddled Anthony Davis.
Yes.
But then you also gotta you also gotta accept the fact that, like, if you're so top heavy with 2 players, you kind of set yourself up for failure in the first place.
If that happens, yes.
Yeah. And so Phoenix in 6. They move on. Who do they have next?
Nuggets.
The Nuggets with the MVP Joker, Nikola Jokic.
But he was missing his sidekick.
Who's the sidekick?
Jamal Murray.
Right. Yeah, Jamal Murray.
ACL.
He was out early in the season, though. And he still bowled. And that guy still bulldozed this team to a number 2 seeding.
But like I said, things would be different if Jamal Murray was around.
Maybe.
If the Nuggets were healthy, I had them going to the finals. Actually,
if the Nuggets were healthy, even in this series especially, think about it this way: without Murray, they were gentlemen swept. I would like to think that it would have been either 6. It would have been Phoenix in 6 or Phoenix in 7 had Jamal Murray been playing. Because, like, despite the valiant effort that was going on, they're like the Nuggets still kind of have missing a shooting quality. They're kind of built a little bit like the Bucks in that they're a large, physically dominant team, but their defense wasn't on point and they don't have shooters on the perimeter. So and the fact that the Suns were able to just finesse it so smoothly, it's just a credit to Monty Williams in and of himself.
Fair point. And they beat the Kawhi-less Clippers, which,
I mean, Paul George is never going to be a leader. He's always going to play a great number 2.
Well, Paul George proved himself this playoff, so you're like, whoa, Paul George.
Yeah, they actually took this to what, 6 games or 7 games?
It was 6 games.
They took it to 6 games. But I'll say this: Paul George can't. There's a lot of guys that can probably lift the team by himself. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, that kind of thing. Paul George is not a man that could lift the team by himself. He's a star, but he's not a superstar. He needed Kawhi. He needed someone that can help take the pressure off him in the perimeter, as well as be a great defender. Paul George is not as good of a defender as he is a shooter, and the rest of the Clippers team Ty Lue did his best to coach him out, but it just was not feasible. Ergo, Suns in 6.
So now, Bucks Suns finals. Two
What?
small market teams.
First off, small markets prevail.
Yeah.
Small markets prevail. You can't I get everyone wanted to even kind of preface what everyone was saying about the series. Oh, there's an asterisk on whoever wins this because there's no feasible storyline. All these superstars were injured. Dude, the healthiest team will always prevail. It just so happens that it's the Bucks and it's the Suns that were able to stay the healthiest all season. All right, the best ability is availability, mother lover.
No, I agree.
So, the same thing would be said if, let's say when Miami was making their sweep, Giannis got hurt. Would you disqualify Miami from its title attempt when it was going through what it was going through? No, you wouldn't. What about if Jokic was hurt? No, you wouldn't. The fact of the matter is, injuries happen, and that's the breaks. And you just gotta deal with it. Yeah, and that's sports, bro. That's sports, and it's just sad that so many people try to disqualify this NBA Finals as not counting for anything, just because neither Stephen Curry or LeBron James made the finals for the umpteenth time in a row. Which I like that this is the first time neither one of them was there. Also, the first time not a single previous finals winner was on either roster.
And it wasn't a team from LA, no, from California or Texas or Florida
or any big market state. It was Wisconsin and Arizona.
Yeah,
2 purple states.
When the fuck is that gonna happen again?
We enjoy it while we can. So the stage is set. The number 2 seed Suns versus the number 3 seed Bucks. So the Suns obviously had home court advantage going into the series.
I thought the Suns were gonna win it, honestly.
Let's break down game by game.
Yeah.
Game 1, the Suns.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I didn't watch all the games sometimes, so
that's all right. I got you.
Yeah. I saw the last 2 games though.
Game 1, the Suns absolutely obliterated the Bucks. All right, because the first game.
It's home court. You got to defend home court.
Home court. The first game is always kind of like the feeler game. You're trying to get a feel for what your opponent is like. And let's be honest, the Suns, they're a long shooting team, but they're a small ball team in that they have very small players. I don't think any player was over the height of 6'10" outside of DeAndre Ayton. And that guy's an actual 7-footer. No, wait, he's 6'11", excuse me. No one above 6'8" or 6'9" on that team. Even Chris Paul, the superstar he is 6 flat.
I'm taller than Chris Paul.
You are taller than Chris Paul.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So they're a small ball team playing finesse basketball. While it took the Bucks to figure out, okay, no, we can tower these guys and we can power through them. So game 1 was a throwaway game for the Bucks essentially. They had it to spare. Game 2, the Suns also won that game too, but it was a much harder effort. The Bucks finally got around to figuring out how to defend this Suns team a little better. Right now, the only feasible options were Devin Booker and Chris Paul, albeit some surprisingly agile players coming in. I'm gonna pull up the Suns roster, okay? Because I'm gonna be forgetting.
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, number 25, right?
Is he number 25?
I'm looking it up, but yeah, no, Mikal Bridges. Yeah, that dude's a fucking underrated shooter, man.
Yeah.
He went on a hot streak in I think game 4. No, yeah, no, he went on a hot streak in game 5, where he was making threes and making them well. Plus, he was a hell of a defender against Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. He was able to guard them pretty damn well and offer additional support to aid him whenever Giannis was getting inside the paint. But yeah, so the Phoenix takes the first 2 games. The Bucks are down 2 to start the NBA Finals. Not a great start. Game 3, and the Bucks pull out a close one in Milwaukee against the Suns. Giannis putting up, I think, 40 points on the night.
Yes.
Then Game 4, a much more dominant win by the Bucks, playing big ball and just
I think this is when most people knew, like,
yeah,
I
it's like,
think the Suns blew it.
they're like, oh no, what's going on? Oh no. And then Game 5. Game 5. The first quarter score of Game 5 was 32-17 in favor of
Yes, I remember that. Yep.
And then the Bucks fought back and were up by 3, 67-64 by the half. And then the rest was just the Bucks pulling away and keeping keeping Chris Paul on a leash because that man was losing the ball heavily. Legitimately, like I think he had like at least 5 or 6 turnovers on the night. Chris Paul did. And Devin Booker somehow found the Kobe switch and looked like Kobe out there. I know he doesn't want the comparison, but Devin Booker looked like Kobe Bryant. The only thing is he wasn't able to propel his team to win in that because no one else was able to help him.
Yeah.
And then
Game 6. Oh. Wait, what Game 5 was? What game was the block on DeAndre Ayton? Was that Game 5?
So Game 4 was the block on DeAndre Ayton. We call that the sun block.
Yeah. Haha.
Yeah. Can I just play by play that second? So you got Booker coming in. He's being guarded by Holiday. He's trying to drive it in the paint, but he knows he's about to be double teamed between Holiday and Giannis. So he throws up a lob over to DeAndre Ayton, waiting on the left side of the basket for an easy alley-oop, right? But Giannis, being known literally as the Greek freak that he is, somehow pivoted on his left foot, his left leg, the very leg he hyperextended himself on, jumped off said leg, and smacked the ball out of DeAndre Ayton's hand.
It was not a smack. He got the tip of his fingers.
It was smacked.
He barely got it.
He smacked
but he got it, though. He got it.
He smacked it like the Kenbe Matuma going, no.
Yes.
It didn't even let him touch rim, c.bo. Didn't even let him touch rim. It was that good. And then Game 5 was the alley-oop. You know, you see Booker.
Yes, that was insane.
So Game 5, you see Booker trying to do what he did in Game 4, but this time by himself. He's driving in, meets a wall of defenders. Drew Holiday, playing linebacker, strips the ball out of Devin Booker's hands, which I thought was an illegal move for the longest time, but apparently not. Strips the ball out, has an open lane to the court, but Chris Paul somehow got there to try to play defender. So he sees Giannis running opposite. Giannis pointing up to the sky, saying, "Give it to me." And Drew like, "Fuck yeah!" Throws the ball up, and just as the tip of the ball hits the peak of where the throw's going, you see Giannis flying like a butterfly, flying like an eagle to grab it. Chris Paul trying to defend him. 6 foot Chris Paul versus 6'11" Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Giannis smacking that ball into the basket, and Chris Paul pushing him away from the basket, prompting a foul.
It seemed like there was no love lost between these two teams.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's the NBA Finals. There's never.
But there's like when it ended, CP3 just left. He didn't even shake their hands.
Yeah, no, he's basically LeBron. He's basically mini LeBron in that aspect.
Yeah.
I thought it was because he's like, we had it, and then I lost the ball, and then I lost the ball, Lord knows how many times, and then Devin lost the ball, and now these guys are showing off by lobbing it over my small head, and then the Greek freak just fucking pushing it down. And Chris Paul, what a funny character. He's like, everyone kept asking, why'd you keep fouling Giannis? I was like, well, we didn't think he'd make his shots. I don't think even Giannis knew he would make his shots when it came to like the free throws.
Yes.
Which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, oh, you didn't think.
So we gotta go. So Game 6, Giannis makes like 17 foul shots. 16, 17. Was this it?
Oh no, this is Game 5, right?
No, yeah, we're going to Game 6 now. The closeout game.
All right, but let me tell it from my perspective then.
Okay.
So, game 6 comes. All right, it's the day of game 6. We're all hyped. I'm working my shift as usual. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Just getting ready, cheering, writing all my pieces, all the previews and everything going on for the prep of the day. I go home at 11 in the morning, and I take a bunch of melatonin, and I sleep for 4 hours. I wake up 2 hours before tip-off. I get ready. I chug 3 White Claws
Wow.
just so I can get a little bit of a buzz
With
going.
melatonin still in your body. That's not.
Yeah. And then I went to the game. I was meeting up with one of my producer friends there. And
does it cost anything to go to the Deer District to watch the game?
No, it's free. To go there and watch it in the screens, it's free.
Okay.
But my hope is I get to go to the first game of the season to watch the ring acceptance. That's what I want to be there for. You're welcome to join me.
You know I can't join you. I wear my Brooklyn jersey just to be spiteful.
How funny would it be if the first game of the season is against Brooklyn? Oh man!
I have a feeling the first game of the season is going to be Nets Bucks at Milwaukee.
I think it'd be great, to be honest.
I just think these guys.
So anyway, shit, what was it? And then so I'm walking to the Deer District. It's like 75, 78 degrees, and I'm in jeans and my Giannis shirt and my Bucks sweater because I knew it was gonna get cold that night. But then I realized there were over 65,000 people in the Deer District, man. That's 65,000 people plus 18,000 inside the stadium. That's nearly 100,000 people.
Yeah.
In total in the Deer District that night.
How much were tickets that night?
The cheapest was about $2,500. One of my producer friends, who's a lifelong Bucks fan, he had the foresight to buy a Game 6 ticket during the Eastern Conference Finals. He knew. He knew. I don't know how he knew.
How much did he spend then?
$600.
That's
for one ticket.
I'm sure he was on a high during that game.
He came into work the next day. He lost his voice. But anyway, so I get there. I'm at the front. I get to see Adrian Wojnarowski, in person in the Deer District. I got to see him on a balcony where they were filming the pregame show.
The countdown, yeah.
Exactly. I was there, and I got to yell, "Whoa!" like when there. And you know what he does that he didn't do on camera? Because even though he picked the Bucks to win, he did this. And I'm like, yeah! And for those not watching, he put up the number 6 because he knew, Woj knew it was going to be Bucks in 6.
I think most people did at that point.
But that's been the rally call of this city since Brandon Jennings was here. And they thought they were going to, win the game against Miami in 2013 in 6. It didn't happen, but the prophecy came true eventually. Anyway, so I'm in the Deer District.
It was just too early.
I was there. Like I was walking around, mulling around, kind of like seeing what's the scene. I finally found my friend who was in like this. He was in the stadium. He was in the park. It was a vacant lot where they had a TV set up. Yeah. That was the site of the old stadium before Pfizer Forum was erected. So it's like we're literally at the site of where the old stadium was. He's like, yeah. I'm like, does that not feel like poetic justice to you? So we're there. We're watching the game, and you remember my Instagram. I was going crazy.
I don't blame you.
Oh, man, it was awesome. I even dyed my hair green, man.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, like
got a little Joker action going on.
no, I gotta let the people who can't see know. For those who can't see, I dyed my hair green before game 5 because I wanted to support the team and I always wanted to dye my hair. I dyed it buck green. It turned a little turquoise / teal now, but whatever. Anyway, so we're all screaming like crazy, and everyone. I just kept hearing the same thing saying like, "Stop giving it to Chris and Drew. They're being mad cold right now," and they were. For some reason, both shooters were riding a cold streak. Brook Lopez kept getting called on fouls that didn't exist because he's basically Brook Lopez. He's a big man trying to do big things, but the refs won't let him do it. So the only thing that could happen was you give the ball to the one guy you knew could get through, Giannis. And then this man, who in 2013 was a 6'10", 196-pound stick of a rookie, who has now evolved into a 247-pound, 6'11" dominant force on the court, went on to not only make 17 of 19 free throw shots, which no one thought was possible because the man was kind of
He was ice cold at the line.
he's a shitty free thrower. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We all thought like, oh, he's gonna break it. Oh, he's gonna miss it, and he kept making them. We couldn't even believe it. It was like, what? Where did this come from? Like 17 of 19 free throws. Because everyone's like, oh, how do you stop Giannis? You foul him and he makes a free throw. Well, you can't foul him now because he kept making the free throws. And then with 17 of those points, if I'm doing my math right real quick, he tacks on another 33 by himself, even a three-pointer, to have a stat line of 50 and 13 with 5 blocks on the night. 5 blocks. It should have been 6 against Devin Booker, but they didn't count it for some reason.
Booker was sucked that game.
Oh, no. He still put up a 40 burger. Booker did.
No. He was cold that game.
Well, so was Chris Paul for a little bit. And then, first quarter, the Bucks come out to a very dominant lead. I think it was like a double, like a 12 to 14 point lead at the end of the first quarter, similar to how game 5 started. But then Phoenix rallies back to be up 5 by halftime. And we're just like, oh no, the Bucks are going to let this slip away. Oh, I can't watch, And then Giannis just takes over. It's the Giannis show. What people are now calling one of the greatest game-clinching performances of all time, I got to witness with my own eyes. I got to be near it, at least, or in the vicinity of it when it happened. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. PJ Tucker running up the court with the basketball to run out the clock, and the Bucks are NBA champions. Confetti flies everywhere.
So, okay, describe to me the scene. What was that like once it was confirmed and it rang, the buzzer rang.
I feel like I've been talking for so long. Excuse me. So the buzzer rang. Everyone's rocking. It's a mosh pit where I am at first. We're all cheering, we're all dancing, we're all sweating. Some people are crying. Everyone's in disbelief, like, no way, that did not just happen. Like, yo, what the fuck, And so at the same time, my buddy who was there with me said, "Oh, yo, we gotta get to work." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. Let's go." So I had to calm my excitement a little bit to walk through the whole crowd of people losing their fucking minds to go. But before we did, we wanted to get closer into the Deer District to see the video of them handing the trophy to the players. And as we're making our way through, we see people climbing the lamppost and rocking them to the point where they almost fall off the lamppost. We see people climbing on top of cars, on top of barriers.
It's funny. I was there. It seemed so calm.
Huh?
When I was there, it seemed so calm.
You know what I meant. Like, even like where the media was, you saw people like hanging from the balconies being like, Bucks and sex, Bucks and sex, Bucks hit 6. In the Deer District, in the alleyway where the big TV was, people were screaming and yelling and running. This one dude was on the floor, head like on the pavement like this, crying. You can hear him like, like legitimately. I've never seen a grown man cry like that, and it was just such a chaotic scene. But then everyone was like, "Shh, everyone, shut up, shut up!" As you see Adam Silver give the Larry O'Brien trophy over to, well, he didn't give it. He said, "Hey, go get the trophy." No one went for the trophy for some reason, and just the owner of the team picked it up so awkwardly. He's like, "Yeah," he's a tiny little man who picked it up. He's like, "Yeah, we win, yeah." And after that, everyone starts passing the trophy around. Bud gets the trophy, then Middleton, then Drew, then Brooke, then Bobby Portis, and then finally the MVP award comes out. Giannis gets his MVP, obviously. And I've never, it's like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is probably, so, we always talk about genuine personalities in sports.
Yeah.
Giannis is the most genuine person you'll ever fucking meet.
I agree.
The man has an air of
naivety. I can't hate him.
No, he has an air of naivety and innocence because he doesn't have any hatred or resentment towards anything.
His smile too.
Oh man,
it's adorable.
Oh, he's a sweetheart. He's such a sweetheart, and you're just like, I love you. I want to hug you. I want to hug Giannis. Like that's how much amazing he is. And to me, one of the biggest reasons I became an official Bucks fan now was because of Giannis. I'm an immigrant myself, so I came here looking for opportunity and growing up and all that stuff. Giannis,
he has two worlds with him. He has the African and European world with him.
Exactly. He grew up, and a man from Greece that no one wanted to help, who literally had 11-hour trips to the gym and back while in Greece, who would never eat until his family ate first to make sure that they were fed while he was in Greece. The man who sold watches and DVDs on the street to try to support his 6 other family members, including his 4 brothers, his mom, and his dad. And the fact that man who came here, no one expecting him to do much as a 15th overall pick, and not only helped bring a championship to a small market team, but literally changed the landscape of the city simply with him dominating on the court. Pfizer Forum will not exist.
I've personally seen it myself. I can attest to this. The Deer District wouldn't exist without the Bucks.
The Deer District wouldn't exist without Giannis.
Yeah.
The whole reason Milwaukee's doing so well economically, and I know this because I've looked up the numbers, since 2017 when he won the Most Improved Player award.
Yeah.
The city's been on an upward trend in terms of economic recovery. Giannis is literally responsible for upholding this city and bringing it into the forefront. And the man is a freaking cultural phenomenon. So, anyway, so after that, we're walking through the scene's chaos. There's this one dude dressed up in this gothic bird costume with Bucks memorabilia in black, and we're just like, oh, that's weird. And he's just walking around telling people, rejoice, blah 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 blah. And we get to the what's it called? We get to Spectrum, to my job. I was supposed to go home after the game, but then I saw the chaos on TV. People were flipping cars. 3 people got shot in the more popular street, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not going home. Not until there's light outside. Not until that mess is clean. So I basically worked an 11-hour shift not being paid for about 4 of them. So that because I couldn't go home. I was a sweaty, dirty, and just tired mess of myself when I got back. I had been up for 20 hours straight covering the Bucks for 11 hours. Oh, man.
So, okay. Talk to me about the parade.
So it was parade day 2 days later. So last Thursday. My friend Gabby wanted me to go with her to the parade because she just wanted to see Brooke Lopez, who's her absolute favorite player. And you
Smart
know,
girl.
so we knew the parade route. I helped write scripts. I helped set up live shots. I actually did a few live shots myself with some of my reporters out in the street. I basically got to do pre-coverage of the parade. Because my shift ended at 11, and that's when the parade kicked off. So by the time I get out of my shift and I'm out of work, the streets are packed. Like not even 100 feet away, and there were already people lined up to see the parade happen because the parade route was coming through my job towards another vacant lot that was next to the Pfizer Forum, where they were holding a huge stage for when the Bucks were coming by. So Gabby and I, we fight our way through a bunch of people because we don't want to be on the parade route. We want to be where the players and the coaches and all the people are going to show up on the stage. So we're fighting and we're pushing and we're squeezing and we're getting through just to make it to the stage. And even then, we were close but not close enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're there, and we're literally waiting there 2 hours because of how slow this parade thing's going. And we're watching it all unfold on one of the big screens that were there. Giannis signing basketballs and doing the freaking free throw like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he just chucks them. And just showing off. And Giannis, he didn't drink a drop of champagne on that
Really?
whole. So here's the thing about Giannis that he's opened about. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink ever. And he's never done it to this day.
All right.
The man is a Puritan. But anyway. I forgot to mention the day before. So like the night that they won it all, Giannis took the Larry O'Brien trophy and the Bill Russell trophy home with him. He even brought them into bed with him because he was so scared that this was all a dream and that he was going to wake up in the morning of Game 6. He didn't want to let the trophies go. Then the next day, this man-child, took the trophies with him. He buckled them in the back of his car like they were children, went to Chick-fil-A and ordered 50 chicken nuggets. He goes, can I get 50 piece? Not 51, not 49, 50 piece. And then he orders this weird drink concoction of a half Sprite, half lemonade that is now known in the city of Milwaukee as the Giannis. And not to mention, all these people, they're like, is that Giannis at Chick-fil-A? And they all sprint over to that Chick-fil-A to just videotape and just be around his car. And they just go, Bucks in 6, Bucks in 6. And Giannis is just joining. He's like, yeah, Bucks in cheeks, Bucks in cheeks. And cuts the feed. So that's what was happening the day before. Then the day of the parade happens. Blah, 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 blah. They make their way through the parade, trophy presentations. No one could hear a goddamn thing. Like literally, everyone kept chanting, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Because what happened is that they wired the mic system to the TV microphones, not to the stage amplifiers. So no one could hear a goddamn thing, but just enough so we can hear something. And PJ Tucker is just
PJ Tucker.
The man was lit. We could all tell he was lit. It's like, yo.
Did you hear his speech?
They told me that when I came here, that they need some dogs, man. He's looking around, and I'm looking around. We got dogs, man. Milwaukee, we got dogs. And and then he chugs this huge freaking bottle of champagne on the middle of the stage with the Larry O'Brien trophy in hand. Hands it out to Drew Holiday, who has the next one to talk. And Drew's like, bro, you got this covered in champagne. Wipe it off. And then Tucker comes back out, wipes the Larry O'Brien trophy with his shirt of the champagne, and walks away. Finally, Giannis, who's the only non-party drunk person there, is just calm and collected and just being great until he hits the microphone and he's like, yeah, Milwaukee, we did it! Yeah! And then the crowd breaks up and everyone's like kind of like dispersing. But Giannis stays because Thanasis was in a Jeep, a black Jeep that was following behind the parade because he couldn't join the festivities because he has COVID. So Giannis, what he does, he gets his Bill Russell trophy, jumps onto the hood of the black Jeep, then onto the roof, screams like he's Black Panther from Black Panther. And he's like, yeah, puts his arm down, and it's like he's the freaking king of Milwaukee, which he is. So like it was like the epitome of what this all led to. Everything that you ever wanted Giannis to be and to represent for the city, he was. And he is. And then PJ Tucker, he didn't go to the private party. As soon as the parade ended, he went into the crowd and walked alongside people, faded as all hell. And was partying with people, like the actual people of Milwaukee, in the Deer District.
That's amazing.
I know. But yeah.
What are they? Well, Chris and Drew have to go straight to Tokyo after that.
They did, but no one else did. So like it's a 13-hour flight to Japan. So as soon as the parade ended, Drew and Tuck and Chris already had bags packed and ready to go, and they flew out to Tokyo.
Crazy. But yeah, honestly, man, hearing you talk about all this, actually being there in the city and witnessing, like, seeing how nice and genuine people are, congratulations to you guys. Honestly, like, this is honestly an awesome moment. Enjoy it. This is amazing. So, any more Bucks festivities going on this offseason or no?
Say what?
Any more Bucks festivities like going on or,
Nah, we're all done.
No. Is that all the celebrations?
For now, yeah. I think the another celebration will kick off once the 2021-2022 NBA season kicks off, when the Bucks get their rings in Game 1 of the season. But right now, everyone's just kind of all eyes on the Brewers now. And it's Packers season too, and the whole Aaron Rodgers situation.
He's coming back for a year, right?
He's coming back. He restructured his contract in a way that would get him fully paid what he's owed this year, but also free him up to pursue any team he wants next year. And the Packers have to help him find a team.
Okay.
If he wants to still. There's still time to change his mind.
So this is it then?
This is potentially it. This might probably be a goodbye tour. This is like, instead of retiring, he's just going to another team.
Oh, man. Aaron Rodgers, what a guy. So what's the Bucks' moves this offseason? Any talks about that? Are they trying to keep the team? They're trying to get some other players, or?
Okay. So I'm new to this whole I'm very much new to this whole NBA scene, right? So this is going to be a bit of a weird thing for me, like trying to keep track of Bucks free agency and draft and stuff, even though the Bucks only have one pick in the entire draft. But
so keeping everyone's coming back. They're running it back.
Well, here's what's been happening so far. So one of the low key depth shooters that we have, Bryn Forbes, who was a San Antonio Spur that we traded for, and somehow put on a shooting clinic against Miami in that first round game in the first round series. So he declined his option and is currently going to become a free agent. So
Okay.
we're losing shooting depth already. The key things that people want, that a lot of analysts want to see happen, is number one, get Bobby Portis under contract, because the man is a great complement and great rotation player for whenever Giannis gets off the floor. Second, get PJ Tucker under contract. The man is a hardcore defender. He's not
Every
talent,
championship team needs a guy like that.
yeah, like he's not a talent, like a talent, pure talent, but he is, as he put
He's
it,
an energy guy.
dog. He and Giannis have one thing in common. They have incredibly high energy. And I've heard this across multiple channels, across multiple pundits. Giannis is just has the man can't slack. The man does not have the ability to slack off in plays. He's always 100% high motor. He's always pushing himself into every play possible. Like a lot of superstars, they'll phone it in sometimes. Giannis doesn't do that. The man is 100% effort. He has talent, but the man is 100% effort. So that's kind of what they see in PJ Tucker from a defensive standpoint. So now they got to figure a way to keep him under contract, because he's going to become a UDFA going into it. A URFA, unrestricted free agent. And then I don't agree with this, but everyone's like, you got to do it because you need consistency. But I don't agree, because the eye test says one thing. Pundits say you got to sign Mike Budenholzer to a long-term contract, and I wholeheartedly disagree. Mike Budenholzer is not a good coach.
He's a good regular season developmental coach.
Yes, but he is not a good rotation coach. The man doesn't
In the
know
playoffs, in the playoffs, he's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, the man doesn't know how to freaking coordinate rotation and use his depth wisely. Like,
But I mean, you're the coach that was there to win the title, so
yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean you should stay.
that it's kind of the guys like him. They won the title with him. So yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
Wait, sorry. One of the Wahlberg. I just got a notification from work that one of the Wahlberg brothers is coming to Milwaukee.
All right then.
Anyway, sorry. But like, look, I've seen what Bud does. I don't think this team has a chance of winning another title so long as Mike Budenholzer's on his team. The players are developed.
I mean, you said that before they won a title.
Huh?
You said that this team's not gonna have a chance with Bud.
Fair, but then you kind of have to think about this. You put any other coach there with that same team, and you see the amount of work Giannis put in. Do they still win? Because let's be honest, this whole championship run, not possible without, because like the whole thing fringed on one man, and it was Giannis. That whole championship run is because of Giannis Ugo Antetokounmpo. It's like he's the one that made this whole thing go. And I think if you can replace Bud with someone that knows how to train shooters, and knows how to develop an actual like shooting game, the Bucks. Who?
Jason Kidd, baby.
Jason Kidd's already in Dallas, you jackal. And he was already here and still couldn't get us over the edge. So don't dare put that on that. Oh, God.
Hey, he was a Nets coach too, and that wasn't the best.
No, instead he was part
of Pepsi Gate.
Instead, what was Pepsi Gate?
So pretty much he wanted a timeout, and he had a Pepsi in his hand, and he asked somebody to knock him over on purpose so he can get people to clean up and have extra timeout.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, no, you replace one former player with another. You got Steve Nash.
Yeah, the jury's still out on him. I'm not sure how I feel about him, but
Here's the thing. To me, Steve Nash is like Zinedine Zidane like Steve Nash to Brooklyn is as Zinedine Zidane was to Madrid. You're just a former player that knows how to set up decent floor plans, but you're not necessarily coaching anybody up.
He's pretty much there just for the egos, like because he's a player and he knows how to deal with that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
But next 2022, baby, I'm already calling it.
I want it to happen because, like, unlike other Bucks,
I want the Bucks again too. I want them again. I want to beat them down, and I want to call you and be like, boy.
And when you do, I will hang up the phone and just be bitter. I was
good to you. I was like, I said congratulations. You know.
Let me ask you this: how was I to you?
You're good. You're good.
I wasn't like bragging over. I wasn't dunking on you or doing this shit.
You're good. You're good.
Exactly. Know that I treated you right, man. That I didn't hold it over you in any way, shape, or form. And I hope you don't do the same thing.
Yeah, but you got my team though. That's the thing. That's still in the back of my mind.
Well, so long as Giannis is on this team, Bucks got a chance.
He's a Buck till he retires. There's no way. He's a Buck till he retires.
Oh no, I agree. Like Giannis.
This championship
wait.
guaranteed.
We didn't talk about the biggest part.
What?
Giannis's comments after the game.
What do you say?
So everyone was.
Oh yeah. I know where you're gonna go with this.
And him taking not so veiled shots at super teams, specifically your team. He didn't say Brooklyn, but we all know the beef he has with James Harden, which is funny because I don't think Giannis was meant to be like malicious against James Harden. I think he was just joking, and James took it James just took it way too personal. I wish I was like 7 feet tall and could dunk a basketball. That takes no skill. I actually have to learn how to play a basketball. That's a direct quote from James Harden.
Yeah, I know.
And then Giannis goes, I could have gone the easy way. I could have gone to any team out there, formed a super team and won 2 or 3. I didn't do that. I stayed here. I did it the hard way. And I did it the right way. So, you being the basketball man that I know that you are, man. What are your thoughts on the comments?
He's right. I mean, he's right and he's wrong. It's both, It's both. Because, like, it just feels sweeter to win it for the team that you grow, it feels sweeter when you have a homegrown team and that you drafted these players and they're there since day one and they pulled it off. It takes a lot to do that, and some luck, Kobe did it. Dirk Nowitzki did it. And I'm sure when Dirk Nowitzki won his just 10 years ago now, it felt like 10 championships when he won it. Like for Dallas, it felt like 10 championships. If Damian Lillard won for the Blazers, that'd feel like 100 championships for them.
But that's the thing, like unlike Dirk and Kobe,
and Steph as well,
and Steph too. Like unlike those three, Giannis won in a small market. Let's be honest. Kobe had Los Angeles. To be fair,
the Warriors were a small market team before they blew up.
They're in San Francisco. That is a top 20 market. That is a good.
But they were not good for a long time.
That is fair, but they're not small market. They're not.
And they won with
they
won with players they drafted with before they got KD.
That's true. You know what I hate though? Draymond Green saying like the Bucks championship was all pure luck. It's like, yeah, luck does play a factor into it, but fuck you. But anyway, what was the funny time? Like, with Giannis, like I was kind of happy with that he said that, and also I like that.
I'm sure, and like you were describing, this feels like 20 championships to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not trying to be malicious or trying to hate on anything. It's just like.
Did you get the DVD? Are you getting the DVD?
I'm not getting the DVD.
Come on. You gotta get You gotta get the merchandise and the DVD.
I'm getting
I'm getting the Brooklyn DVD if that happens.
I'm getting the hat. I already got the sweater. I got the jersey. I got Lord knows how many shirts. I got gear. I'm good.
Gotta get the DVD.
I'm not getting the DVD. I can just download the video on YouTube when it goes up on Pirates. Anyway, look, one of the reasons I avoided the NBA for so long was because I was always saying it. The NBA is no longer a team-driven league; it's a player-driven league. No one's ever a fan of a team anymore. They're a fan of a player. I'm not a Laker fan. I'm a LeBron fan. I'm not a Clippers fan. I'm a Kawhi fan. Blah blah blah. And the superstars constantly move. That's why I avoided NBA fandom for so long. And then I got to Milwaukee, a small town with a superstar that decided to stay, and I'm like, there's hope that this is still a team.
I agree. There is hope.
But I don't think it's ever going to happen again. Super teams are still going to be built, especially now. There's going to be super teams building in the East just to take down the champs, just to take down Giannis.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I've been a Nets fan since Jersey, so I've always been.
Hey, I respect your fandom, and I'm clear. I just hate like all the carryover people, or like all the Golden State fans that carried over into Brooklyn because Kevin Durant went there.
I feel like there aren't that many. I feel like there aren't that many carryover because it's the Nets. It's not. The Warriors are sexy. They're in San Francisco. They got Steph. Yeah. We're not that sexy of a team because everyone hates us.
You're New York.
Yeah, but we're the bastard stepbrother of the Knicks. You saw when the Knicks won one game, they were freaking rioting. It was one game. The Nets made it to the second round. It was cool.
Fair point. But
if KD went to the Knicks, it'd be a pandemonium. That's what
here's what's gonna happen. I think the Nets have a chance at a championship going in, so long as Kyrie heals up and James Harden, stays with the team.
Yeah.
So I think you have a chance, but I think this is your only window. After that, it's gonna get blown up because
you're getting older.
Not only that, all three of those guys are ring chasers.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Kyrie, not really.
Kyrie wanted to be on the Nets.
Yeah, Kyrie went to Boston first to get away from the Cavaliers because he was.
Well, he got traded there. He didn't want to go there.
Hey, he didn't want to stay on the Cavs either.
Well, yeah.
And then after that, he chose to go to Brooklyn because he's a Jersey kid. He wanted to be closer to home.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then freaking, what's his name?
KD's friends with Kyrie.
Yeah,
and Kyrie convinced him.
Oh, yeah, KD wanted out of Golden State because. He got tired of people saying you bought yourself a championship because you joined an already constructed super team. And you made it a super duper team. So he wanted to go to Brooklyn to build his own from scratch with Kyrie. And then, I don't know how, but y'all somehow managed to pull off landing James Harden of all people. And
well, that's still that's still kind of a gray area, even with like the way he got out of Houston, and that's still like I don't love it, but I love the way he's been playing here. Yeah.
Harden will get.
He changed his game to pretty much be a distributing point guard, which, hey, all for it.
Harden will come back into shape, and he will return, and he will also be healed from his hamstring injury, and that big three will be deadly again. But y'all gotta actually play together. In a shortened season, you played less than 10 games. Come together healthy because Kyrie just went off to do fuck knows whatever he wanted to do. Durant was getting injured, and so was freaking Harden. Y'all gotta build the chemistry. Just because you have three superstars doesn't mean they play well together.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of karma too when they lost to the Bucks. It's like, the Bucks put in their hours, and the Nets they're still gelling even till that day.
Like you can buy all the championships you want with all the super guys you can get, but it just feels so good when you just earn it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end on that, man. Again, congratulations to Milwaukee, and You know what? Go Brewers, I guess. And I guess Aaron Rodgers is gonna run it back and probably win it again.
Imagine like all three major sports, Wisconsin wins.
The Cheesehead, the reign of the Cheeseheads.
The reign of the Cheeseheads.
Before we go, a quick question: did you watch Black Widow yet?
No.
Okay. All right then. That's where we're at. Hopefully we can do a podcast on that, and Suicide Squad comes on next weekend as well.
Oh, there's too many things to keep track of, and I'm literally losing sleep because they keep moving me.
Yeah. Sorry, man. All right, guys. Thank you so much for this podcast. We'll be back whenever we come back. Can't make any promises, but we will be back soon. Hopefully, enjoy it, man. This is awesome. Enjoy it.
Hey, yo, I'll forever be a Bucks fan, but I'll always hold I'll hold a candle for Brooklyn all the time.
Thank you. Go Brooklyn. Woo!
Let's go Brooklyn.